So
yes.
And then me be je wadwen kyerɛ ketewa bi. Yes, that enche me bre. Come time but live this time. I me kona nwumre.
Okay.
But topic bi ba menya wo say na so ma me no ni nkobo. Ansa na nwumre me matena se.
Okay.
Ti ene de we who different face or platform so I mean me ni be din komo be fa ono aboken no. Ono aboken ti na me so camera. Enye ono aboken ka this time kan me so camera. It's a nyasan kito. Felix Bonsu me chia pa ma good morning, afternoon, so say evening baby will be Vivian and so Grace me chia Charles watch me nua be ma boko de Elizabeth and so I join here live. Me ne also and I be din komo a me do also na atoso no. Also chia Ekuonaba family. Family we dey a huge family I know a thing.
Ekuonaba family me chia mo nyina.
Platform we ni platform a yentai emba kusie mpia wi anti pia wi asane. Nessa asem ko Kofi Patrick me chia pa. Elizabeth me chia mo Elizabeth me chia. Nti se pia na wi ase ni dia ne se nipa na wa boy ja no.
Yeah.
Oh. I was a phone no say dey we are no din. Ha din ya pie. Also me chia pa.
Me Joseph ni.
Me masem yetiawa. Ono aboken Agyapong but so ni papa no.
Martin din pa.
With one TV so a woni me dey call ni. Nzo MP. We jai so be so president.
Yeah, Martin.
Okay. Yeah. Enkomo koso amanfo asofo na kire say ono abotan the church. Na ye ka church kura dey ade be see we din kan ate ho na church dey ade.
Church ankasa no ejina homa Kristo ankasa.
Okay.
Bible say Messi ma sorry na sama ponka say entumi entwi mfaso.
Okay.
Nti church no eye Kristo nipadua.
Okay. Let's a church ni a bit my me.
Yes.
Okay, let's a building na the building says you know. Okay.
A building near the meeting place of the church.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Nti obajia to me say asofo wo Ghana say honorable Ken time church.
Menjintum the reason why I mentioned to me say and to me enkoba ne say asofo Ghana nyina omotan eno sa menjin to musa ebia enipa ba ko no ne nya bi asem na koba ne sa
na say church ni mu ba ko
okay
it's na me say that busa say church no the church ni mu ba ko
yeah
okay because or expose because corona time no na emze na ye kwadwo obi nim na so obesa corona na wonu abu hu ye onu te fast na onu ye pre ponche ne fine pa na na je gauge so be kan ho be ponche ne bruta it is ango for ponche oboro omukra mente so mo make comment bi obi nim kra le me so say oni ni nua no de ache ne bibia dadin no mo din ampio hol kra na so na mente ase say o mo say otan so wa bre ni pa no ponche na angasa no omukra na asan tweama na sisi e kase kwara obi nim waka so onu abo besi so obesa e campaign kwara mente ase say ebi mo asori sisi o mo say onu abo tan asori wa brad wo no mo ponche ko obi akra ye ku che ne wankona.
The American say sometimes people take things out of context, right? There was a fuse between honorable and then Obinim, right? And to me engineer no so make decision. For example, what to me no nya asɛm a ɛno nkyerɛ sɛ woni me nya asɛm no obi obɛ me bia no abɛka ho bi. That is so wrong.
We ya chuma agency be say Ghana for say spirit no say bia me no ya aka ni kwa so adam for kura na madafo ne kasa me nya sai na opeso oche no
e before esuban ya waye ho so woni obi wa asam a na se nipa na woni no wa asam so wadam for ne kakasa kura na wo no ubu afu no
yeah e no kure
enti sa na de na akoye
sa spirit no before spirit ni bi no
yes and to me believe who pass say near AC no it was a personal encounters. And we should treat it as such. And to me, say, na yama bibia generalize bibia say, sorry nina no, and yet true.
Okay. There was all for family who say on time. Sorry.
Yes, because if I'm to judge a right now, I have to listen to the both side. what happened, what triggers, their differences. To go to that extent. Into the truth in say, as someone seen a nipa no almost solve differences. No be a two agent. Onim ni see a cry. Obi cry na onim from the beginning of the whole issue to the end of the issue. But I'll tell you say, ebi nipa na kasa in a very negative manner towards the church, Now he becomes angry. Yes.
Okay.
But I think when we talk about the body of Christ here, for example, even under the body of Christ, you will be more papa papa. Bible says in the last days, many will come in my name. There are many people no matter what Jesus dem so free Jesus. Obi okro betumi aka so Ghana ni nso na onye Ghana no use Ghana passport.
It's all the back kingdom no mun community. It's a kingdom no kwa yamfra wa ntimi nkom no. Nti obi betumi na no agu asoro wa bra Nyankopon na chesi wo.
Ensa me ti krom we su krom akrata. Betumi aka se me krom hani. Based on
and the ama wo.
Kata mo de ama me no. But say a ban in nationality bibia me free ankasa na me nya krom hani.
Straight to Ghana.
And sana de na tie. And this yama ensua no ma bi year. It's also a literacy sometimes it causes some of this havocs.
Okay.
Now everybody will be fuming against each other. Now you're creating so much tension among ourselves because obi akaka ntokwa na ntokwa na de I spread it to everybody. I believe we should treat such cases as individual cases, not as a corporate cases.
They can say sorry I work Ghana be a honorable time sorry Christo na why yes
and and as someone see we have to look at the whole thing critically, analytically, and make a proper judgment. Yankopo to Misa Yarabia. Yankopo ono to Misa Yarabia. But you to me forcing Yankopon on say Yare.
Until what you say.
Bible say yes, and Jesus moved with compassion and he healed all their diseases. Ukai mighty wana. Yes, we nya tima amankofona ene. Our neighbor Brian Yesu was assassin. Or a saw munina yare. It means a Yankopon bet me as a yarena. But unto for son say yare. Bible says a cracker say because Nikrum Fokwa and Jinan to Mintinoene, he could not perform many miracles. And yare sacrano, Wujidia Kahubian, so when you were Yarisa. And she said, Nipani Jidi Nimua, Ayarasana Emba.
Okay. You say, Yansha from Alberta, this angle. Lady Vioba platform was angle, Yansha angle.
Okay.
Angle, if you say, situation, as a gun, watch a crack.
Say, me call Ghana check a crack.
About TT news that me say, Yaswadin Marba town. What you honorable Casa Tin and Como would do, who had the Papa Cassani action, see us what they ma bay, Tiaka Crabberman Gababa.
I never come to me. I would love to say, and as met me, I can say, say, do baby, Ghanaians are out of order, and we need order.
Ubia
Yenope, and if yes, would if you say there is the house is not in order, and Ubia Yenope, from the head to the toe, and I know what I'm talking about. Ubia, sorry, I know Yenope. And there must be a lot of
news now.
Yes.
Obia
Yenope. And also social media Obia Kasasa Opeso Kasano because of we have gotten the platform. But in other countries, I mean, you don't see these things in Europe, you don't see these things in Asia. You can't just get up and open your mouth and talk anyhow.
South Africans who be busy. So what will happen to
yes. It's actually it is happening more.
What is to Ghana ne South Hua? If I know me far from dear temper.
I think say I have for no any too much as compared to West Africa.
Yeah, come check in. I'm so more Twitter more. I'm type a comment.
I'm Twitter, but it's not too much as compared to like West Africa, especially Ghana for Nigeria.
And why thing?
They be and talk about social media and the differences every time people are fighting. You know,
education program, yeah.
Yeah, they don't do things that are more educated, but it's like but we should think about things that will build the country and also build our tomorrow. Oh, we waste more time on things that are not important.
Tumu says I order na anyone in Tino. Papa and some more can oba bit matrin no makakra.
May assure say obey to make discipline, certain behavior patterns. And Ghana need systems to be in place and proper structure to work with. Because if where there's no systems and structure, people just do what they think like it's good for them. And a norm. Oh, and do baby na sometimes me call Ghana crab to be frustrated.
Okay.
Do Ghana. I remember some few years back me call Ghana na me who I should there or crown and say me got I should there. Maybe I should there born Panama me now starting or hear me.
I wish you for come on my entry home 1 minute. You was here.
So Pacifica Astra Chodo for dear, and they're not found who unique laser whitening. Unique laser whitening. Our toothpaste to strong quam. What did you choose? Say, and ma was saying a fita. Na eye fita non sono. Na a ye and carbonate beer a wo no beer. Any tea stain, coffee stain, smoking stain, beer. Unique laser whitening product. Ebe yin in every swama or kama. The other say, utu so. Na would be a goo or brush the so. Now the chuchu sinisun yina kama. Uvia and who were num general were num sa into for unique laser whitening. I was 079-9979-2330. Unique laser whitening or say Muni Seso.
Pennyforce bibi wo wiase ntine da ne atopnum na ne pabone fonti e wo se wo bambo hu hia na ne papa mu de Pro Technologies ana me kan fama wo ane Pro Technologies. We are specialized in both sales and installation of CCTV cameras. Yeton esa install CCTV cameras in the South Ghana and NASA brochure na ufi Ghana. Now person CCTV camera installation. We need Pro Technologies and Ninsawaso. We CCTV camera installation, electric fence, automated gate, access control, video doorbell, and intercom, and satellite TV, home theater, so upebiato, and wato, and our person install them out. Pro Technologies and our software. Na shenenso. Say Fidia in from America, Butchman, and this and Papa now Padia, man, none of one so daft form. Make sure you know the web Butchman, any branch, our Ghana, Yenimo Brow brain, into Sika Fire and Sem, Sefania Padima or Ghana, or da. Nania Tennessee, yes, general construction. So web brochure, no peso si for Ghana, a time plan be a peso si. So I shall see that, and now no peso si. Plain beer, ye be siama, and which so here solar power, and now bamba once and send the idea. When ye need our square first to install it, and none settings, ye bay a diamond. Our Ghana, Ubehuyan, when mirror front enter, Edward Yacha Dodoa, Ubehuya, our Ashi, Yene Emmalin Pharmacy, and what the same building. For information or WhatsApp 401-7570-300 and a plus 401-6992-254. Pro Technologies, we have the solutions for your security and home entertainment needs at affordable prices.
As our back comment section, you need Ghana for needing come. Okay. You kind almost comment kakra. Oba comment section. Was the chairman all is about regulations? Said in our Okano.
Yeah.
And was it yes? A vote for Ken is vote for more jobs. So they say youth need pay Jumae.
Yeah.
To check it comment section at him didn't you pay too much money Ghana now. Who's when you also create more? To moon is only about bit to my criteria Juma. And so I'm will be the comment about say a friend about 4 cars dunia. Or say Ghana doesn't need mad and running mouth leaders invaded by emotions. Person say Ken Buffuntem. Na I say emotions and so ya know the actions the film near the last time I know the kumbusa asem.
Yeah.
Sent it on and while no being can one now come to one of the items. I don't think I'm gonna pose on Musuron.
Yeah, I think one of the qualities of a leader is to be calm and avoid chaosity. And no any kind of fears, but there are other aspects of qualities here or poses here. I think we can overlook that aspect here, because we be leaders I say away so for want to me nipa and also want to me
so for no compa or compa papa so fast we bad the way as so for no compa
and to make us a leadership there's a charisma side of leadership and there's a character side of leadership.
Okay.
Because oftentimes people don't look at some of these things. The things say becoming a leader is like that the people are more passionate about climbing the place of authority than to go according to the responsibility that comes with climbing the place of authority. That is a major concern that everybody has, and a leader should be somebody who is principled, disciplined, and calm. So
principle, discipline, and calm,
yeah, because
discipline is action,
you can discipline people when you are calm, when you're able to control your emotions, and it's also part of leadership.
But also study can say obey leader na say
it depends on individuals.
Okay, so also say that in
it depends on his level of exposure,
exposure they are not
and I know he's got much exposure. With that, I know he has exposure. He has well traveled. He's mentally balanced when it comes to having exposure. But the challenge I'm having now, that like I shared with you, is to work on his emotions. And I think I made a statement that it's because of Moses' anger. That is why he couldn't get to the promised land, because God felt like if I don't take him away, he'll end up destroying what I want to achieve. And so we don't lead with anger. That aspect, if he's able to work on it, I think he's got a lot of qualities to be a great leader.
Okay. Next, apart from Buffon, the baby had the
yes.
I see.
Yes.
I see. Obi the comment by a friend Charles Watchery. What's your win? Yes, uncle for Quadjuma Pan, say dance on more class 24/7. Ghana Tibu class 7 days.
I do agree with his statement, but you have to create balance. Even Bible class, a false balance is an abomination unto the Lord.
Sunday, yes, you was a Ubian from class, sorry. Anna, if you craft Friday upon Juma, we to mark your own, I know our Sunday.
Okay.
And then so on Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday.
Okay, let me be factual about this. How long do we spend in church? It depends on where you are. The problem we have in Africa is that we have too much time to waste. And people don't utilize their time properly. If you look at in Europe, in a Western community, people are use their time wisely. Unlike in Africa here, people can go and sit at work for the whole day and for 12 hours, 15 hours, 18 hours, and they don't do anything constructive. They can be sitting in the office and then they sit on their laptop, they will sit on their phones, which in other Western communities, you are not allowed to use your phone. You need to concentrate on the job.
Now, Western community, I said,
yes.
You got an office. I could be a laptop in Western community.
Yeah, you can do
that. Say, cleaning job. What do you cleaning?
Yes, and even that, you are not allowed to pick up your
phone.
Until there is discipline, there is order. And back Ghana, it's everybody get up and they do as they please. I do agree with you that we need a lot of entrepreneurs in Ghana. An entrepreneur doesn't come by just talking. It's talking and action, together. And so Christians, the other day I was telling somebody that we need to teach people to discover who they are. You need to know what God has made you of and begin to work towards it, because it is knowing, by so doing, you'll be able to, fix our problems, because we need people like great inventors, and begin to empower them. We have Christian inventors. Even though in the European community, you have Christian inventors, the person who invented the globe and Microsoft and all, they are all human beings like us. We need to explore and think positively than to waste much time on things that are not important.
What invention by Apostle could just focus spiritual about or invent cars?
That is why I'm telling you that invention. This man has invented Kantaka cars. How many Ghanaians are supporting and him, patronizing his, his cars? That is the thing, So, and I do get frustrated because of some of these behavior patterns. I've lived more in a white community than in a black community. And one of the things I've discovered is that white people will support their own. Indians support their own. Chinese support their own. Arabs support their own. Jewish communities support their own. Black people don't support their own, people. They don't patronize their food. They don't patronize their clothing. Everything, we think more Western, but we behave more Africans. And that is my concern, because if we are able to support each other, we'll be able to, we'll even stop, importing things from overseas, and we'll start manufacturing. We'll go into industrialization and begin to build companies, because Christians can come together and build a company, employ one another. That is what, after we have fasted and prayed, God gives us idea, and we put our ideas into action. Not prayer, it doesn't mean that you just looking for somebody from America to come and bless you. No, oftentimes God gives you the ideas.
Also useful.
And then you implement those ideas. He has given you talent. Every single person has a talent. Whether you are rich or poor, everybody has a talent.
Okay.
Nobody came into this world with a golden spoon in their mouth. So that attitude of Semiwabruchi and Kamei, it is never true. I mean, maybe I will be able to prosper, depending on you knowing who you are and what God has made you of, and putting them into practice.
Enti say Ghana for 80 wa. So what na bridge like na unim how our system not running. Obe support to say sorry no mon time no so no ko fongo pay you man na le send your
No. My problem is not even the time they spend in church. The church have to go into entrepreneurship. The church have to open companies. It's part of my passion. I'm believing that the time is coming.
And then I was at church ni be companies.
Companies. That is what I'm saying, because
when you power software condemn. Also, can the same assembly?
Yes, I believe that the church have to start opening companies.
And you believe you can do it?
We believe we can do it. It's possible. If we can open a church and gather people, the same concept, we can use it to open a business and build a business with the same charisma and capacity.
Hey, that's not money that day.
No, it's the mindset, right? It's the mindset. Everything has a beginning. Oftentimes, the problem I want to say, before a name said the best started to be free scratch. And also, our problem is that we like a lot of individualism. We need a teamwork. Like, for example, I've seen maybe 10 Indians coming together, opening one company, and they put structures in place and how the company is going to help the 10 people within the period of time.
India for us say in part time Christopher.
Yes. It's the system that they have put in place and working towards it. Listen to me. God has created everybody in his image, and everybody has the capacity to become whatever they want to become in life. If they work is the aspect of of God. Okay. God works 6 days and he rested on the 7th day. And so work is something that everybody had to cultivate.
Important, yeah.
God doesn't bless an idle hand. God doesn't bless a lazy person. An idle hands is the workmanship of the devil. An idle mind is the workmanship of the devil. And so we need to go into serious, on entrepreneurship, and start manufacturing companies, opening companies, and practically, even if you don't have anything, we can start from somewhere. Believe God. That God, the same God who can help a church to grow, can help a business to grow. You get my point? Because I'm sick and tired. We pray for 24 hours and we don't have tangible things to show for. That is not how God works.
Because we check the Ghana community and I say Ghana, and here for no more nego, so they must maintain your cry.
That is why
I can say, church no bet me be an answer, so for bet me a team up to be a campaign. No,
the truth is that a lot of pastors want to do it, but they don't get the support from different angles.
No,
that is why I'm saying that it depends on the mindset of the pastors.
Okay,
right. Those of us that are well exposed, we can come together and we work, together and build, a massive. Like for example, we can go into hospitality, we can go into farming, we can go into poultry farming, different types of farming. They are all part of the things we can do to empower the church. People can bring even food, to feed, bring in some resources that we can use it to grow the farm. We can start small and grow big. We can go into, textiles, sewing. You can go in different dimensions of, we don't need to wait, on God and sit down waiting for God to come. The manna has stopped, falling. Jesus said, my Father worked all day and so do I also work. He prays all night and during the day he works. So I believe that if we really want to see the true Christianity, the true Christianity in the book of Acts, we're not believers that were sitting at one place, but we're believers coming together, working together and making things happen.
As a bruchas of moon common different as a mutin some massintem different I don't know modernity. I say a bruchel for no can't do myself. The Ghana ones who can't and for
no, it's you see, number one, it's your upbringing and also your exposure, the environment. I read a book by Reverend Clement Anchabak book, and he spoke about infirmity, environmental infirmity. For example, if you grow up in an environment where they are very negative, you end up becoming negative. Like I've grown up in a community, you can't litter on the by the road. You can be arrested because you are littering. But in Ghana, anybody can litter anywhere. They just pick up a litter, they throw it anywhere. They drink a cold drink, they throw it anywhere. But I've lived in a community where if the moment I finish drinking something, the first thing that comes into my mind, you have to go to the bin and throw it in a bin. I'll be driving and I'll never pick up anything that I'm eating or drinking and throw it outside. I have to keep it in the car.
Okay.
When I'm coming out of the car, pick up the waste and then put it in a bin. Even now, because of recycling, some of the bins, they have the paper bin, they have the plastic bins, and so when you are throwing things into the bin, you separate it. So it's, that's why I said we need to put structures in place, and we have to be more methodical. You have to be more disciplined, because sometimes it do baby crana. For example, you don't even want to be in a queue.
Okay.
But in certain communities, people will be queuing one after the other. But if you go to a black community, somebody will be in a queue and want to pass by another person and go before the person. And it doesn't happen in a white community, in Indian community, in a Chinese community. Everybody will be in a queue. There's order.
My inti adikuntia branti bia make comment bi o say adikunti ohun say Ken Eba nkofo edwane ne yewi amesan bebusa question bia fa asofo no mo hye nkom e de fa eye one Eba na hwan e se mukura mo de mo hye politics ni mu ana be ba sa nkobo so inti sa se mu
be se mo na mo do ono aboken onim ono ankasa onim me chairman onim pa se ya obi amu ye ne don yeah no bo am wasru no obi atano so ono aboken no krenti da bi omo sori tia no chairman sabos da bi obi ono abate me say ya the machines sewing machines na re wetin make us a foolish man sewing machines ono aboken busa sewing machines I do come at chairman sabos on jim fan chairman nkofo ono aboken ye ko gina aswame ofa ye ko gina aswame no aboken ye campaign majority leader. Okay, at that time when majority leader on aboken nya problems. Okay, sa 2020 no nya problems be okay, parliament issues time on aboken say parliament na ayefu for than na no say on abo say parliament na ayefu no. that time chairman Sabosu etna we so TV so no kasa didi honorable atem no small boy na de ende honorable nya small boy chairman Sabosu mo samia hukumu ni sa boys honorable nya makura enkwasi afosa omu nya obi amese da bi omu pa honorable achewofa be na be ka kire wo
on say chairman Sabosu
opa honorable achewo
on say honorable chairman sa
honorable be campaign ye wie ye kwaso ase da ye na adechen Saturday ye kwaso ase ekoye campaign ma de oni muntaka contest honorable ko jina platform so ye campaign mo no so ansa honorable say everybody eko keti hamon wo wa dance aswa he Jesus MPP delegates be sramo hwe honorable Ken mu no owo mu sankofo eniom mu ye na opa hwe ofahwade attacks ebe honorable Ken so yi opa yenye fe hwe se honorable Ken kasa bia na NDs for attacking no na MPP for so attacking no unim de tra de anti ni say Ghana for me sramo omunim se honorable Ken ba obachi omagum they know ya papa waka several times
ono ankasa aka
yes omunim say kronu bi omabo bia me say kronu bi omagobo honorable Ken bachi omu na agu it also for the bia me no kasa me catch him say on record you people should put me on record me diatro shofa from ex-president Mahama time na mambo time ebesi president Anadu time me say penny bia wedi o mine sika say o ye CEO o ye minister o ye MP a o do one for o mine sika say mu o madi o mine dream me say o mu na o medem I'm telling you yeah you legal team money you were the strongest legal team in Ghana I'm telling you and they know the strongest legal team in Ghana the whole Ghana I'm telling you I'll tell you the truth one say obi to say lawyer Chachuchi Kata sponsor papa no wa bempa
yes
Ono, and that chairman Kwame Jan. Boss, me boss, a boss, lawyer Kwame Jan. Omo, Ghana, omoni a lawyer for Ekuonaba Kromu. Omoni Nimte, and as chairman Kwame Jan, lawyer Jan. Ono, any honorable Ken, a judge, Penny, and I'm a boss, a tosso. And my lawyer Darko, lawyer Kingsley, lawyer Brutus, lawyers in the dogs. You were the strong legal team of Ghana, or beyond me, I'm telling you. Yeah, lawyers in no more kind of only a discipline. It is honorable Ken Pepe. They know, say, Yamia do honorable Ken Winia, and quite on your faso. And minted almost is quite. Want to be Munagalam so yeah, about madam, Yabati or Manisika, Cronubio Mabuna, Yabati Nadia Magana. I'm telling you, honorable Ken Baufa, Cronubio Biabu Biano, Yabasho na county, Yabati Giscani na. Dear Yagana ye, yet Bemagana 40 memo for, yet be Edmamo Maye. Yanko Bobo Siam 3 up on you. Or mine is Kawum, or mine as Kawum, and conform a brave yes can go with them, and conform a brave deep dream. Galam say MPP and this for nay. Galam say, no noble coon tokwa, no coon tokwa, Jubilias, Nanadu Hiano Pain, or Mane. Professor report what's Yamaka. Etienne Gideon Boaco, who Sukon Massa, who to make Janobe Casse, Yantua a Yampo be or agent, almost a gent in the Eddie, Yampo Bia. On Didi Martin, Yempo Bia, and or Cano Cray, Yempo Bia, on Pen Wassem. Hey,
I mean,
do
one answer a cancer honorable and 70 be a new quite this time the Hesse or Cassa or Cassa MPP for ne, Umo Maya Galam say, no more dear bicycle near the Oba or Betty Munia the Wounds you say is too early. Sir, obey be a handsome way so. Who's that? Who's that? Anuntina, and Peninfono so, Empesa or Babano.
Offer, be patrol to me.
Me buona Obana Bachima to the Asenia. Menzo, may I make a memoir, Mamba?
Okay, offer, be patrol, be cast me to be kind of Friday Yacha Empress. Offer him, and your memo be unto my. Say Ghana for many year your teal, be patrol to you. We a Ghana me, a Ghana ni. Sie na ya jitu mu say o man ne ya mu kire eni pa di awrewo.
Okay, Bema. On komo na yoko no.
Yeah, it's a very interesting topic. What you say, the intentions are right, but I think there comes a time a wise man.
Because it cast an adult.
The wise man have to keep your secret, especially this guy made a statement. Say it is too early for them to use that as a tool, because now people are becoming scared that when he comes, you put them in jail, so they will not give him that opportunity.
But
so
open says or bar or be a discount on Chintumana.
He can do that, but he have to do it in a very subtle manner.
How?
Let me explain. Focus. You should focus on what getting the position. When he comes, whatever he has in mind, then he implement it. Because see, I know all come out getting I know muchi na uyo. Into omokwa no mo so omo plan there. Afa no ho. Because said all can say minim say me diska na obeche me. I will make it more difficult for you not to to the same thing omodi akwawe obi president candidate in Nigeria no. Because omunim say obi ba omo be kire omo. And this political leaders are mafias.
My baby are free bar. Now the thing say, Mami Musa question we. Mami Musa question we. Was some of them who rura amanyosemuana. As of Ghana, prophet, ne pastor, ne.
No, Bible say, pray for those who are in authority.
Okay.
Right? Our responsibility is to pray for those who are already in authority, not people who are, wanting to go to a place of authority.
Okay. So, this is what don't want me. Also, what don't me. Ubetima jina udomani mashem come say Yankopon bio and he say Munkotoma ebia kuyadonko. Ubetima enza.
So Yankopon ka tremia and they bet me akabase Yankopon suma me amenko kasa.
Meba. Because on record say and come show motion a business no more. When Yankopon ba kuntimi money pa me different prophecies.
That is what I'm saying. Say we share Bible more. When Yankopon suma Samuel say onka kantre Saul say I've rejected you to be a king over my people.
So what make you comment to say Yankopon suma so
Samuel don't
Samuel.
So onka kantre Saul say I have rejected you to be a king over my people.
Na Samuel na wabuni din sesi ne characteristics no we to Ghana so for ho omo so for ben wo Ghana ne tibia na Samuel suniti ni mu
entina make us say I don't want to be judgmental.
Okay, nti enko see ya
God can use anybody to speak to anybody because God is not a respecter of persons, right? But sometimes because of the authority and the influence of some of these leaders, God have to use somebody that they will align with that person or they will listen to that person. So he oftentimes uses people who are in a superior place or a place of authority. For example, I say, "What you claim ha?" Then Yankopon ama message say for come president. Now we also for own free claim ha. Even for you to navigate your way up there, it will be very difficult for you unless you have contacts. I remember some years back, God gave me a message for the current president before he came to power to become a president, and I even said in church that he was going to become a president. God showed me what was going to happen in his in his government, everything. I spoke to one of his close leaders. This guy listened to me, wanted me to tell him everything that God has ministered to me. And I shared some with him and not all of them. But he rise up to a place of influence and I did not hear from him again. So it's important say Nyankopon ema message here. Onyankopon or share say to me, I carried that message to the right people. And I believe say Yankopon betumi akasa, but say Yankopon kasaya and kasama Yankopon. That is what I believe in. God is not author of confusion.
Okay.
Because Yankopon to me enkasa enchre nipa baako mienu miensa.
Different kwa and na me ho na mbese nka me ti ho na se no.
Because Yankopon kasa, dia waka no or say nipa na wasoma no.
Because Christopher Munyame ye baako pe.
Yes.
Okay, it is a Christopher Munyame ye baako pe na so mama say Akuyadonko odimo say baomia odimo we say alanchamato odimo we say na sa no menti asem na se
ma me nkyere mu nkyere se Nyankopon edding come share to obi abrabo so a san come share na for example se Nyankopon am message se me kan kyere wa if God will send another person he should come and confirm what I have already spoken over your life not to speak something that doesn't confirmed
you be akan
dia Nyankopon de and na kasa first so anytime when God is speaking he comes and confirmed what he has already used somebody to minister to you or what he has already told you. God prophecy comes upon a person to align the person to God himself.
Meba matiro chenase meba de me pese me tia se ne se san komshe awo mo hye wo Ghana hoyi when the members no wogidi ewo asofo nim the me church members 100 a omo wogidi o mememu ti me gina o manim e ka se makosoro aba na me koye no ana safo bia bedi minsam safo ano later ehu yan se ko ebia chine ho me dia to mutrim chine nso ye ndisi chine nye CPP ndisi edo mutrim to automatically ma me nkofo na ate ase se Nyankopon na aka akire me se safo me mfa chine
okay
mo di achi ni nyina no kokrumuti ebeko chine ho eye automatic
let me clarify something se Nyankopon okasa if God is giving you a message he will send you to the right recipient of the message and so I don't believe say Nyankopon person will be kasa also we suffer no way saw them no congregation. No, the message was not given to you to give it to the congregation. The message was given to you for a specific person. So go to the source, the right person that needed to receive the message.
Only IGP by Agnes IGP can say when you be home comes and can't.
Yes.
Not only Agnes.
Yes.
Okay.
It's very important because the message, for example, Obia Kasam Saben Kanchrewa. Now, if you me no, it doesn't make sense. You need to be very practical. I think sometimes it's also, sorry for my language, level of education also is a factor. Because it doesn't make sense.
Okay. There was any panel call now can ask them children because me I can't me fanya okay.
We see nipa no public na start ka say sa nipa we Nyankopon aka asama kyerem say na menka nche nipa na oka kyere no ontumi nya ho hwe maybe kura na nipa na onim nipa na oka no ho asam enti no wona we receive message go to the recipient of the message.
Now we politics.
I don't do politics.
But I share politics won't come.
I only speak what God has told me to say. I don't. The reason I make us say I'm a prophet of God. I'm not the prophet of the people. So I speak when God is speaking. I don't talk if God has not spoken to me, I wouldn't waste my energy to impress anybody.
Okay.
The challenge is that a lot of people sorry for my language, but some of this so-called men of God who want to impress people. That's what they do. But me, I'm not called by people. I am called by God. I am a prophet of God. I am not a prophet of the people. So I speak the mind of God to God's people. Yes.
Okay. Did then I be catch I saw for Mujina saw them we shall come to the members say we would say.
I'm a prophet by the grace of God. I've been in a prophetic office for 25 years, getting to 26 years. And what I would say is that even with the prophetic ministry, you mature into it. Right? Like, for example, when we are school, no, be in when we are school, all year, Jumano, Munya the same. Because
before we just watch the moon, who anointed you as a prophet?
It's another topic. It's not part of the discussion, so we don't have to divert the topic.
Later. Okay, Matthias. And then I can't tell us for no more. fear and panic in some banner we be would that say na we are you see na Salomon.
You see,
what brand nipan will say go ahead and can't on our can't see.
If you check from Genesis to Revelation, the whole Bible is a prophetic book, right? And God will send his servant to a specific group of people or a person. So when a message comes, you have to know whether the message is meant for a person or for a community. And so you'll be able to package the message. Once upon a time, David was a king, and he took somebody's wife. Then Nathan. Nathan was the personal prophet to David. And then Uncle rebuke. But the approach here, Nathan or Yusu very high level of wisdom to correct the man in a place of authority. Because if you wasn't somebody who was very high, has a high wisdom, David would have killed him. Because you can't go to a king and tell the king that God said that this and that you have done this. In those years, you don't even have access to a king. So it's important that if you receive a message, you have to know the receiver, the recipient of the message, and also the packaging of the message.
It's all packaging.
Because if you don't package the message accordingly, you end up offending people or even offending the recipient of the message.
Okay. And there was a panel.
Yes.
Now then the message Manu. Okay.
And so when you mature in the prophetic office, in some you won't can publicly.
Okay.
Also, it's and someone I have never said them or publicly.
Obviously, the comment by is a better who was a can later. Was seen na Bible Muhi fan actually said prophet in Tia sorry, and the other can was him later. And I with my can.
I don't want us to divert the topic.
And tell you, take you a topic. And the Tennessee, I asked him, and say, Honorable Ken. And sorry, I walk Ghana and they say, oh, time, sorry.
Yes.
And T, now me say, also, infant I've been chamber, Honorable Ken, time, sorry. And I say, on time, sorry. Also, say, on time, sorry. Name when you be in an issue, no matter what issue. And when you say what time, so I'm
yes, because you see, as some see on.
For the foreign call for
yes. Number two, say as some AC between me and you are
okay.
The third party no Bible no betty or communicate to other group of people. The whole story will change, and that is what is happening.
Okay.
Nipa now munya fuse na so munya misunderstand almost solve one problem, but other people have taken it out of proportion. Oh, be a candidate.
Yeah.
So why don't we approach these two people? And everybody will give their opinion on what really transpired so that they can solve their problem on that level. So we don't have to.
Number yes, sorry, Nina.
Say now it's now between the church
and Kennedy
and Honorable Ken. No, it should be the individual parties. Like I said earlier on, when we are talking about the church, the Bible says we are the temple of the Holy Spirit. We are the church.
Okay.
So one person who is part of the church, let me put it that in quote.
And akokon ntokwa.
Okay. Na obia so agin ntokwa nafa. You understand what I mean? So
I say we need a washing all the piece ni man namfo.
Yes. Enti no say nipo betumi ama the right answer no e honorable Ken. Say otan sorry no anaso ontan sorry no.
And the American man on time so be.
Intino, and I say, what do I call it? Let us hear from the horse's own mouth. Let us not put words in his mouth.
Yeah. Okay.
I'm somebody. I talk straight, and I believe that we need to do things right.
Etuti enkomo a ye di e wa ha na he papa e desk kun yisu ya. Who ni say Ghana for man chance an kebefa.
Say
Ninsam wa walk can de wo hwe de system yi koyi na so de ma ba system yi mu.
No, the truth is I like some of his principles. I can be frank with you. Me a software. I like some of his principles. The only thing I don't like is the fighting side of him. I think I've told you already.
The fighting the
yeah, the fighting side is what I don't like. I believe that as a leader, there is a way to solve a problem.
Yeah.
You can't be fighting publicly and think that people will respect you. Because we live in a community, there is a way a leader ought to behave. Until if you don't behave accordingly now, I say, yes, open bonnie. I want to speak in G, but the way I wanted to package it.
Matthias.
Now,
but apart from that,
it's well principled, and because of his exposure and also he's well traveled, and he's got a lot of Western experiences that he will be able to, put them together to help the community. I think he's the best person that you should have, he doesn't take nonsense. That side of him, I like it.
Dear message now be catch for more shows say I didn't have a catch almost say if papa you desk you.
Maybe the American only say go according to your conviction. Don't let anybody mislead you. If God is leading you to vote for whoever, just go according to your conviction.
No,
go according to your conviction. No. If you know, say this person will do the right thing, go ahead. If the person is not the one that you feel like you will do the right thing, don't force yourself to go and vote for a person because somebody is influencing you to do what you want to do. I believe, yes. 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 Simple as that.
Okay.
Because we want to build a better future, better tomorrow for Ghanaian community.
Yeah.
Because sometimes when I look at Ghanaian community, even as we travel, Ghanaians are scattered everywhere, and we are not united. We are not building anything. Everybody is talking individually. But we are not talking yes. We have to yes, we have to use that concept, the same approach. If, for example, say sewing, yembi ejuma ye sewing, what do I call it? A restaurant. Yembi ejuma am for between ejuma ye. We have to look at the line of businesses within the people we are pastoring, and set up businesses that will be able to empower such people and give them an employment. I think when we do that, it will help us to have stability because Jesus feed the people. Right?
There was someone who feed you.
So he feed them with the word and he feed them physically.
We say question you cry. Say a sorry man a sheep, according to Bible.
Yes.
And now pastors near shepherd. Now the back your sister me more. So John Shaford will join Drum with more. I want to tell you a man young goodie.
John Shaford no Eddie in Janico Igrim. Amamoko paid the anity.
The same to the answer sound.
They be. Let me give you the typical meaning of that. We say
typical meaning.
We say Uganshafono or the Indianuko no a force or muso munidi, but environment here. What we have to do as men and women of God is to take them to a places where they will be able to get something to depend on, to eat, create an environment. Yes, we have to create an environment that will help them working environment, or something that will nourish them to become what God wants them to become. Because I don't believe that we are only just going to church and going, praying every day. Even Jesus, before he came, there was somebody who came to prepare the way for him. So God is preparing us not to be here, but as long as we are in the flesh, as long as we are on this earth, we have to survive, we have to live. And how are we going to survive?
Water, gas, municipality.
And let me make a statement here. When we empower the church, when we empower the congregation, then they can come back with what they have to help us to advance the kingdom, to win more souls, to reach out to the lost community. Because when there is no money, you cannot preach the gospel. I'm telling the truth. Everything we see physically is maintained with money, and the same applies to the gospel. The gospel is free, but it's not cheap.
That's what him Apostle Joseph with Marcus on a yes side were champion pa. God would do creating new mapas and so
the truth is this. That is the pure way of preaching the gospel. That is the truth.
Because I'm more Juma.
I mean, people. Let me tell you, when people have jobs And when people are living, and they don't
Comfortably,
have, comfortably now, they serve God without struggles.
Because some be a Juma cry more say monthly, no me say try you come up out.
See, the truth is say, and your munina or may faithful. But at least
salary be secretariat.
No, the truth is that some of them, when you put those structures in place now, they will fight because it's not something that you have to force them to give.
I'll say okay, but the quite human side one.
So it is important say obi oye Christo ni bia no asori no ye bom pa ya bom no nso no they should see the church as a solution center. The purpose of the church is to give solution to humanity.
Also
we need adwuma.
Okay.
Also we need adwuma. People have to live comfortably. The time has come. Yes, so Christo ni sorry I know says radie. David is say
David David was anointed by God and so still walking to call. Good by me now.
David, I say, my yakwala, na menyini, na mihu or training na says radia. It simply means David was able to understand that it is not God's will for a believer to become a beggar.
Yeah.
In other words, you have to create a platform where every righteous man will be able to have a living.
Well, come do I ask you Bonnie boy to the moon?
No, say obi a commodity no adwombone e woni trimu. I know thing. So if you really want to test a person, wait until when the person is hungry.
Okay. There was a so for Casamonia line is a commodity boys natural.
Oh, I'm telling the truth. Let me be frank with you. I have, I had a privilege to take care of many people as a man of God. I pick up people from the street.
Okay.
I shelter them. I clothe them. I made them stay with me. Some of them, I gave them personal employment.
Okay.
Make sure here in South Africa.
Okay.
Some I opened a company. They were working in my company, and some of them I personally registered a company. I gave my registered company for them to work.
Okay.
Because they don't have document to do so, and I did that for them to be able to work using my company's name to work, so that they can be able to access job opportunities within the country.
Why are they? And is a foot idea ban say sorry no. And some wakakra na omo preach your omo creating you maybe my boys in yabinye.
You see, let me put it this way. It is not when we talk about the church is not only one person. And sometimes the problem is that we look at the church as the pastor. That's where the problem is. Wait, no. You see, that is where the wrong notion is. The church is everybody that comes into the church. So now we have levels of authority within the church setting, right? So the church have to come together collectively and begin to look into avenues that they can exploit to create employment.
When you sumo connection now when you're through a year paying for money,
that is the way to go.
Okay.
Or for example, we have entrepreneurs within the church setting, right? We have to bring the entrepreneurs together, encourage them to open jobs. That is where the problem is greediness and jealousy. Because the challenge is that a typical, African always, is thinking about himself. But not thinking collectively. And that is where the problem is. Let me give you an example. I had a Ghanaian brother who was born in South Africa, and the mother was a Ghanaian.
Okay.
He opened a very big company, and then the mother told him specifically, employ Ghanaians to work. And this young man came to me, and he started employing Ghanaians.
Okay.
And do you know that it was the Ghanaian boys that collapsed his company? Because they came in with that selfishness and greediness.
Because of
poverty mindset.
Now him Ghana on a Christian country, and I say a religious country, and also when you say a food to fry, and also when you say a democratic country.
The truth is that Ghanaians are very religious, Let me put it this
way. And almost I agree this
very religious, but we pretend to have the form of godliness, but we deny the power thereof. Let me explain that. Bebre na bet mi aka so ye Christoni, but wo hwe ne suban ene Christo suma no ebo ebra.
Mention kofon ko pia ntuako no. Okay.
Ontino nipa no obo mpa pa, but on working on himself to have right character.
Mindset no.
Mindset.
By renew your mind by the renewal of the one
renewing your mind by the word of God daily.
Okay.
For example, ebia ye nyina ahia wa ha. Na ebia yekoto aduane. Na wo nkwan wato no wesi wane wedi na wonu say other people eto wane come de omo. The first thing will be sense ebia nipa omo ho no omo didi a, say omo didi a fine na wedi aduane. But so omo ho no didi they are making sure say wo to aduane buy it collectively. Everybody must eat.
Because so we also can say Ghana ho no because of poverty in na ma sa no me ekoso yi. Omo so e parliament yi. The Bible ni Quran elsewhere. And to be any so Christopher
That is what I'm saying to you. A typical African leader would think about himself before he thinks about the community.
This over you fancy to say the Bible ni antoa yentoa ba ka still na Bible na no fancy.
You see, when we talk about even leadership, leadership is a calling.
Leadership swearing no there. So we mo ade wo mo the Bible asu yen semoni koso ye yen some fan to am from be 1 month mi hade.
Let me tell you, Nyankopon is more dangerous crossing Antoine.
But it's a man my boy say brave.
Or you're very patient. Obi na ka so Nyankopon to ne boantem. Na so to ne boa. Ebe ye hu say. One day
Bible na.
Onyankopon bofu ye no we bie asase mu.
Ebi nyansi biem. Chema. Ebi nyansi biem.
Ebi nyansi ebe tumi esi at any time.
Okay.
Now, some of this atrocity here is we are saying we are just saying na normal. Normal.
Okay.
In sending who I met me, ye are no bedding common be if I have a croy team.
Okay.
Now, Onyanko can send me breach me, before COVID. About 90% of the in someone Yankopon catch them in Abba.
Okay. Mate. Also born a tougher boom no na obekan twato.
Me born a tough and the American say Ghana for any very careful. Now omun choose a leader ebe say country and the future of the Ghanaian community. Because we've had enough. Ghanaians keep on struggling. I was speaking to one of my friends, an American friend of mine, and he said, I'm the first person to encourage him to go to Ghana with a team of investors. And he said to me that I hear Ghana is becoming very tough and the economy is very hard. What is going on? I couldn't give him an answer.
When to mind be a Jumano, and I will be
a Juma Crow called Ghana, so Omuko invested in Omoji percentage and so one. And almost started Juman percentage. And it doesn't happen anywhere.
That's only be a deal. And that's what down from to send your 1 year.
The beard me, Mako Ghana, the investors tako Ghana. Would do on better say a Jumana would day back room Hano. My percentage in answer way for us, a Juman crying started.
So much a crananza.
On by Joe Modi answer over started and answer was started.
I see. It's the whole crown experience, Kaka.
Yes.
I see. There's a leader we are here, and we don't want to confirm. There's a papa we are here, and one tango for us, what near Mau Kronos. As one dear Mau Kronos, as one dear Mano, a dozen, for none idea. Also say, a buffonic, yen quantity papa buffonos manacacra. Now, a man met young boys, Kaka, as one dear Mano, those what town you want to quit the beer dinner. Alright, so that's it. First thing I'm gonna do, or body some as a charity also. Sounds the HS Ochre was a mindset to the jacket, was a young woman. Minam, Nevada was one of kind all the way. Ibrahim's were here free a Togo. Yamin Shirabujida, first thing I could do was Stressa or you. Marvin, and so a basuma babs were winning in lunch or call Bessan baby later. That's why Apostle Kojisafo is the best pastor in Ghana. We're creating new mass BB. Told you the Bible. Ricus in the kind was it David was anointed by God, but still he fought. So what are you talking about? Ohimaba Awu or say Benihin came out and tells the lies, tells the truth. Benin Bible Tibekan no call said the way in troll or Beka Church, or Beka Lasem. List after 4 say good afternoon. Sanso and a Riku say, how many men of God do we have in the word now? And what about those who does not have the Bible but uses Buddha, Quran, etc.? Are those people not the child of God, children of God? So who are they? Man of evil.
Yeah, I think it's not part of the topic. So when you are ready, then we'll dissect that topic.
Village doctors, 90% of Ghanaians are in the spiritual world. So we have a long way to go.
That's a truth. It's a hard truth. It's a very sad truth.
More now, spiritual world. Phyllis Intim Bonsu, also a chiapa, Chobibia. Grace friend. And so I was also Ekuonaba. Is it true? They did something to Nana Akufo-Addo. Why he got the power too late, so Ken have to skip something by himself. Menti the opposite chenasio. Wasi no kure. So mu ye Nana Akufo-Addo bibi. Eno di benya power. Enti ama Ken e twen. Eno sa story we de mini be Akufo free. Minim the opposite chere. Minim the opposite chere de. Rick, how did this man realize that it was God who gave him the message? Question is very powerful. I
think it's a very interesting topic. So you have to ask questions.
James Aziaka or say, I love this man of God. He is frank. Also the frank. Nelly was a good afternoon at Ekuonaba. For Snakoledo Zuba. So face mask. Or see, those pastors also should tell their church members to vote for Honorable Ken on the 4th of November.
No,
so they also in your politics.
I can't tell my congregation to vote for whoever. They have to vote according to their own conviction.
Yes. And then, okay. Yes. Ebusia yedibesiwa. Yedibesiwa. Ene de me to all am simamene so monkomo na asofo say honorable Echiri asori ewo Ghana oso be so unchiri omunchiri Ghana biahwe unchiri aso akristo so mo hwe ni Paul ni nyani allegation o makom toko ai case close bibi o wala onte ase akobuso mienu uncheche munyenye no
no
all right e be ya mihira mu nyina
hello webusiafo so pesifita asra chodofo de and then nafa ho kodom unique laser whitening our toothpaste stronko a wodi twitwe osin a ema osin eye fita na eye fita no nso no na eyi enka bone bia ewo no mu bia any tea stain, coffee stain, smoking stains bia unique laser whitening product ebeyi ni nyina free so ama o kama de oba ni say utu so na wodi bia egu o brush do so na wodi twitwe osin so nyina kama Uvia and who wenum Jano wenum sa into for unique laser whitening. I was 07999792330 unique laser whitening or say Muni Seso.